right. Hi, everybody. Welcome back. We are here doing our very last class for Brandon Sanderson's literature lecture. I keep saying literature. His writing lectures. I'm here with Becca and Esther, and I'm going to let them do some intros, and then we'll jump right into what's going on tonight.
Hi, I am Esther Duhar. I'm a Puerto Rican writer aspiring to be a hybrid career author. I do write under the fantasy umbrella, and I do write contemporary short semi-romances under a pen name. And wow, the last one. It's been a long time coming. But wow, that's crazy. That's a little crazy. Becca.
My name is beccacsmith, and I am also an author and YouTuber and sewer and all this stuffs. And yeah, I'm excited to do this. I can't believe it's our last one.
I know.
This has been so fun.
It has been fun. And you're here on my channel. I am Nia, the Vixen of Fiction, all over the internet. I stream on Tuesday nights here. So I'll be here tomorrow if you guys want to write, read, hang out, plan, do whatever you need to get done. We'll do that tomorrow night. And I'm also over on Twitch in the middle of the day on Mondays and Fridays, doing the same thing, just getting things done, working together. We love co-working, getting in some sprints. So I do have somewhere to go tonight, so I can't be too long. And I do want to talk about what we thought about the whole lecture series when we're done. So I don't want to wait too long. So I'm going to explain really quick. Let me find my book banner. So we are not watching Brandon Sanderson's lecture number 12 here on my screen. I want everybody to run on over to Brandon's channel and watch it there and then come back and join us. We're doing it like this because we're doing it for accountability. Because as we were saying earlier, as much as we want to watch them, when will we ever sit down with our notebooks and pen and actually take notes and take the lessons like they're actual lessons? So this was us holding each other accountable as friends and writing buddies, and we did it. We did it. So we're doing the last one. So if you're on a device that you can't watch two things at one time, we are going to have a timer going at regular speed for those of you and us who like to watch at a little bit faster speed. So that way it's just even Steven. We know where we're at in the video. So go ahead and watch the lecture and then come back and join us afterwards, and we'll have a chat about this lecture and then what we thought about the lectures overall. Yeah, so definitely we're trying to direct the traffic back to Brandon's channel. He's gracious enough to post these for all of us to watch. So there's no need for you to watch it here on my channel. Go over there, watch it, come back and join us for discussion. If you do keep our thing open, or if you just keep the chat open, because I believe you can also do that. Just keep the chat open, like detach the chat, and then watch the video, however you want to do it. But if there's anything that stands out to you, just go ahead and put it in the comment section and just put a note and make a note of the timestamp or whatever the subject is, so that we can remember to go back and chat about it when we're done. So that is how this is going to work. I'm going to put this up for people who are going to come in after we get started so that you kind of know what's going on. So the timer is at the minute marker, so you're not going to see it going until it hits the 1 and the 2 and the 3, so forth. So you'll know what minute marker we are at in the video if you're watching separately and then coming back. All right, so timer is up. Let me pull up my lecture. And it always starts playing. And just, yes, we are including the introduction.
Yeah.
Okay, pause. Okay. All right. So, are we ready? I'm not. I can't think of what this one was. I've listened to them. I was telling Esther and Becca. I listened to them all before, but I don't know if I wasn't listening. I'm like, what is this? So I'm going to find out with everybody else. So if it's something I know, if it's something I heard before, I'll be like, oh yeah, I remember I'm talking about this. But if it's not, if it's something new, I'll be like, never heard it.
Nope. Well, I know for sure I haven't ever heard it, so it's
right.
the first time.
Esther and I will be like, oh, yeah.
Right.
That's what that one was. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. If I pop off a camera, which I do sometimes, it's because I want to eat a snack or have a drink. So we'll be popping on and off camera. So don't worry about that. We are here allegedly. We better be. We did all this to be accountable, so we better be here watching. So that's all it is. If you see us popping off camera, we're going potty breaks and snacks and things like that. All right, so let's go ahead. I'm going to count down. So you guys are going to click play on your video in 3, 2, 1, and we'll see you back after the video. All right. Did everybody finish the video? Yeah. We popped.
That last bit
I know. I was like, "We brought it home." Okay.
was like, are we going to church or not? The writing church.
Yeah. So that was a good ending. And I'm glad that he
Mm-hmm.
had two parts to that ending because he brought the harsh reality as he's looking at his class. He's like, two out of the 200 of you will actually be able to make it and be able to actually like make a living. Oh, but we're gonna keep losing Becca because her internet.
Yeah.
She'll pop back in as soon as she can. But then he brought it back. He's like, that's not 1 in a million though. That's 1 in 100
Mm-hmm.
of people who get serious. So you can be one of those 100 that really buckles down. So it's like it's not impossible. Because sometimes
Yeah.
it can feel impossible, and we're
Mm-hmm.
in those trenches, right? We're doing the thing, and we're actually seeing how hard it is, on the indie side with anticipating, the trad pub side of it is, yeah. And when he said that, when he said that part about it being an absolute nightmare,
Yeah. I'm like, should I just not? And the moment that I tell myself, should I not do it? I immediately like, no, 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 no. I do want to do it. Um, because I do, like he said, I've been, I have this belief, like I will say 2 to 3 years, that the safest, most profitable way to do authorship is by being hybrid. Like there
yeah,
is the sad thing about this business is like we produce what the entire business needs for it to just function, but we're always at the end of everything, and we're
yeah,
the first ones who will get like the kick and the brunt, and we will get the stomp on and all that. So I'm like, it never makes sense to just be all in one thing nowadays.
yeah,
So I so it's funny to see year after year more people are like, hybrid is the way, hybrid is the way, and I'm like, I'm
mhm,
glad I am listening to my intuition. I've
yeah,
been telling
same,
myself this is gonna be your identity
same.
eventually.
Uh, yeah, because I feel like when I first started coming on to AuthorTube, a lot of people were like, "No, it's got to be trad, got to be trad, got to be trad,"
Either or,
and
it's like, or you're
yeah, and
full
I'm like,
indie or you're full trot, and I'm
"Yeah,
like,
full trad." I'm like, "No, yeah," and then the indies were just like, "No, I'm just gonna do it on my own," and yeah, now people are starting to see the benefits of both, and
mm-hmm,
oh my gosh, to be in the trenches though,
I'm
trying to
like, for
query,
me, it's like, because now that I'm having my book, and I hope I don't go out, by the way. I'm literally using my phone's hotspot
oh,
oh
oh no,
because the internet and is just gone. But luckily, that's why the backup phone is always nice to have your cell phone
yeah,
that you just like
no, yeah,
like hotspot. Okay, here we go. So hopefully that won't go out. But obviously I don't know yet because this
mm-hmm,
book, you know, like what are the advantages going to be having like
mhm,
a book in a bookstore and like having like it distributed by Simon and Schuster? Is that going to like what does that mean? Does that mean that it's going to help my backlist, or does that mean that I'll make more money on this book? But I don't know. I don't see that. I don't
mm-hmm,
know. I don't see that happening because in traditionally published, it's a range of about 10 to 15% is what the author gets. And as a, indie publishing for the last 15 years or 13 years, you get
mm-hmm.
70%.
yeah,
So
Yeah.
it's quite a drastic difference, and I started early, so I got on that big boom. So I was able
Mm-hmm.
to make money and like, and I've also been on the down where it's like crickets for like 4
yeah,
years. So Yeah, so I will be interested to see how true that sentiment is, that
Mm-hmm.
being a hybrid is the way to go, because I don't think I'll know until the book is released. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
I
also
feel like it.
would just pay attention to your backlist that looks and feels similar
Oh yeah,
to,
that's why I'm writing the third Dream Diaries book.
Yes, I think that's perfect.
because it probably does.
Yeah,
That's where you're gonna see
it's
if there's
identical. Like,
any.
yeah, and Dream Diaries is literally identical in like theme.
Yeah.
Like
Style.
you could even say Grandma's Little Secret is the prequel to Dream Diaries, because
Yeah.
that was when I was first a little bit ready to talk about my
Mhm.
trauma and my like family stuff. So I just gave the main character my background. And
Yeah.
Mm.
so she's very much like the main character in Grandma's Little Secret, has the dreams, has the this, and So anyway, I'll you're right. It'll be interesting, but that is why in Nano 2.0 this month I have shifted gears. Um, Even though I love obviously writing Kilkeo Peak, it just I sort of feel like it served its purpose to get me back into loving writing again.
Yeah.
And then
Mhm.
I just kind of had that moment where like, oh, I think I need to put this aside again. And I need to like work on Dream Diaries, because you're right. I
Mhm.
think that that's my best shot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's interesting. That's what I'm saying is I don't know. I'll be the guinea pig.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm kind of like watching you because you're like doing the thing that I hope to do. I hope to within a year have a couple more things indie published, and
Okay.
then start getting one of my one of my epics, either the sci-fi or the fantasy, getting
Yeah.
those ready to queer query.
I know, don't say the word. Query.
I feel you because I'm like I have gathered like I think 3 books that I have found that have tarot as part of the magic system or the magic system because
Okay.
I'm writing one of it is a YA, but I'm writing that into the magic system. I'm like I need to read this and kind of like see what it's in the market. They're
Right.
Yeah.
they're within the 5 years, like one release, I think a couple of months ago. So I'm like, I need to see where I am getting myself
And
Yeah.
I did wish that they went a little bit more into when they were talking about little illustrations, because I've never been, you know,
in.
professionally trained to do artwork, but everybody always tells me that my artwork looks really good. I'm like, it looks really good for like I can see it when I see someone who the difference in what I do versus what someone who's professional does. But I do want to do my own comic, which is why I'm like I can do it myself and just publish it indie. I said, but I wonder if I wanted to have it published, do I submit it as it is so that they can see what the illustration should be, and then they would get a professional
Hmm.
to
But
be like, I don't know
that's,
which would be
yeah,
better.
but I feel like graphic novels are treated a little bit differently in Trapbook because
Because I
you
feel like it
wouldn't
would
be
be
a
my art style.
novelist
Right.
illustrating your book. You will be a graphic novel writer and
Yeah,
illustrator.
I mean,
Yeah.
Like it feels different.
Yeah,
yeah,
but I'm not a professional. Like when I tell you the people who are professionally trained, they will look at my art and they will shred it. They'd be like, "Oh, it's
Hmm.
terrible." Anybody else who looks at it, like my kids and family members and friends, they're like, "Oh my gosh, you draw so well." But I know
yeah, but
the
sometimes it's a
difference.
style thing, like, I wouldn't worry about that. Like, I don't know, like, because
Yeah.
the first thing that I ever had published was when I was at Ghost Whisper, and that was a graphic novel. And so working with IDW, it was like it was very much separated. Like, you're the author, and then
Mhm.
our artist in Italy, like, you know what I mean,
Right.
is going to do the
Hmm.
art. So it's like they don't even think of the possibility of the author being an artist. But if there is a possibility, I don't know, I feel like a lot of these companies might be really excited about that, because then it's like just for one. But again, it's like I feel like it's a case by case basis. So I think I wouldn't be surprised if like just because you think that you're not good enough, that doesn't mean that like they may be like, we love this style, we love this thing, we love that it's a combo, that you're a writer and an illustrator, we want to publish this with your art.
Yeah, because it's
also
not.
we don't know the market when you decide to try to. And if your style of drawing is kind of
Archer
like
meets Disney
popular,
princess,
then people are good. Then the publisher gonna be like, of course, this style is getting popular. They're gonna follow the money, and if the money is in the style that you're in, they will get
So
it.
if I say, here's my story, here it is with my artwork, but I don't mind if you want to get a professional to do it, but here it is.
Look, no, I would say you go in with full confidence. You don't you don't tell them like an artist, you go, this is the graphic novel, and then it's like, and usually they respond to that, because if you think they can tell, you know what I mean? Like, because it's your style and your art is great. I mean, that's the thing. Like isn't your artwork in Veronica King's book?
Yeah.
Like, do you think like Zara
you already have accolades?
Do you think Zara would publish something that she didn't think looked professional and fantastic? No. So it's like you're just down on yourself because you haven't been trained professionally. It's kind of like, like I think a lot of us that, like for me, I was never trained in writing books, like, yes, I went to film school, so I did take classes in screenwriting, but like I was never trained to write prose. So in my brain, like, am I just making stuff? Like, what am I, then you just get, but so many authors don't have English degrees. Like, because it's just telling a story. So, so you wouldn't say like, nope, sorry, I'm not going to publish your book because you don't have an English degree. Like, that's not ever going to happen. So it's the same thing with art. They're not going to be like, well, you weren't trained in art. Well, forget it. Like, so it's not like that. It's exactly like writing in that sense. So stop it.
All right, I will stop it.
Publish it. But you can indie publish. There are some great avenues for, because I did the first variation of like a book form for Grandma's Little Secret was Little Family Secrets, and I drew everything, and I did a graphic novel of the story.
Nice.
And I had that. I published that. So I've since unpublished that, but. Yeah. So, but and I had like, you're way better than I am. And people would always, cause I did it very like children's booking. No. I mean,
she immediately was like, no, I am not better than you. Stop that.
Artwork. I've seen Nia's artwork. But
I know.
I'm not saying like, I played to that. Right. So I made it look like a children's book. I made the characters look very cartoony because I knew that was where, as far as I could go as an artist, to make it still look good and look, like, and so I really dove into the style because I figured, okay, I can do that. So it's just, but honestly, I'd say 90% of it is just confidence. Just be like,
agree.
Yeah, this is amazing.
100% agree.
You should publish this.
Look at this.
Oh, wow.
I did look at, someone was saying with Amazon, each color page, if you get it, that you pay for, and I'm like, oh gosh, how much would that even cost if I didn't publish it?
That's one of the reasons why I unpublished mine on Amazon, because I think just like the bare minimum for one copy was like $25.
Yeah.
And then they don't let you charge. They don't let you charge. Like if you're just like, okay, I'm just going to charge 26 then and try to keep it low. They're like, no. The minimum you can charge is like, it was like 30 or something. I'm like,
then you have to. Oh yeah, that's a lot. It's a
You
lot.
know.
So much to
It's a
think
lot.
about.
It is.
This is in the hybrid trenches right here. It's we're figuring it out.
Yes. Oh
Um,
my
Yeah.
gosh.
yeah, but
Deciding
I also liked how
where
he
to
broke
go.
down the illustration for your cover because a lot of people get
Mm.
caught up in the my cover doesn't look like what I want it to look like when you get it trad pub, and that's not what it's about. It's the cover. It's like that magazine or the movie poster.
Yeah.
You're selling the book.
Yeah.
And I really like the way that he put it like that because
That is a
like
good advice not only for drama but for indie too.
mm-hmm.
Like
Absolutely.
there's some monetary limitations, yes, but you do have to look at the market where your book is going to be at and look at the
Yep.
covers and try
Mhm.
to match your cover as close as you can. You will see it in the sales. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I see it. Like, I'm like,
Yes.
a
When
lot
you
of
give
times
them
I'm
the
like,
cover they
I don't
want.
know why this is selling. And then I'm like, I do know.
Yep. When you
Mhm.
give
Just
them the
need to
cover
read your
that they
covers
want.
for the other ones.
Yeah.
Yep.
For sure.
Because I know that you hear a lot in the romance area. We have some friends that write in that, and a lot of times they don't want to do a like a Manchester or something like that. But if that's what sells the book,
Yeah.
you know what you choices have to be made, and I'm like, choices got to be made.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
I feel like when you're writing, as I'm doing a lot with NBJs, and it's more in the cozy fantasy, contemporary. So I feel like I have more wiggle room. Plus, they do a lot of illustrations with those.
Right.
And so I feel like for me, I'm like, oh, thank goodness, I can work in a realm that I actually like.
Yeah.
But if it was, trad pubbed, I'd have to let it go and
Yeah.
trust that
Yeah.
they're gonna pick something that they know if we put this on the shelf, that's gonna work.
And some publishers are very, very open to having the
Mm.
author, their opinion and their, everything like that. Because Zara was very much like that with me, like, because there were two covers that the guy gave us that were both very good, very different. And so we kind of had to make that command decision of which one to go with. And we chose, this one, the bloody tub, like they're both bloody tubs. But one was more like contemporary thriller, and it was gorgeous. It was teal with this like red, deep like burgundy red titling. It was very pretty. But when we thought about it, if someone saw that cover, they would immediately think contemporary thriller. And that's not what they'd be getting. And with this, it's like it's giving grungy, it's giving paranormal, it's giving all those things. So they know from the cover exactly what they're going to be getting. And so
Yeah.
that was what we eventually went with, because it was just like, yeah, you know what, we got to go with this one, because then when people want to buy it, when people are reading about it, they're like, and it also kind of, we try to do like a little bit of an 80s kind of thing, so it's just like, it says everything in the cover. But yeah, the other cover was gorgeous. You know what I mean? But you're like, what are you trying to say with that cover? Yeah, you could sell a bunch of copies, but then you're going to get a bunch of bad reviews because they're like, wait a minute, what is this?
Yeah, there have been
Like
times
you were setting the tone with the cover.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Because
Like
as someone who,
yeah.
Yeah, because as someone who likes fantasy, sci-fi, sometimes I'll start reading a book and I'm like 2 chapters in, and I'll actually close the book and look at the cover like,
what?
What?
I know. Yeah, that's the nice thing about this cover, is that it's like it's direct. I can't point to it. Little that cover right there. It's like it's from, like, it's a scene in the book. It's a dream in the book. So they're gonna know immediately, like, oh, okay, I know where we're at now. That kind of thing. But I like that. That's what I did with the Dream Diaries books. Each cover is a scene from one of the creepy dreams,
Yeah,
So,
I love that. When there's a cover and you're reading in the book and the cover tells you
right.
kind of like what you get, but then when you get to the scene, you're like, oh,
right.
Yeah. You're like, you take the book and you start like,
oh,
what?
This is the
what?
That's what this is. So it's like the two different reactions. The one that's like, what is this book even? Where is the sci-fi? And then the other one where it's the moment where you're like, that's the scene.
Oh exactly. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
And also spill tea all over yourself like I just did right now. I was like, exactly. You can't do that when you have tea in your hand, right?
Yeah, we gotta.
Like, I talk with my hands. It's too much.
I love
Yeah.
the Q&As, because then you get to, a
Yeah.
lot of times people will have questions that you kind of had. And I did like that he talked on several things. Like, he talked about what it's like to be on a platform, picking a platform, and what kind of
Yes.
platform, do you have something that's niche that you can do,
Mhm.
that, to create a platform, or are you just going to be a platform writer? And
Right.
I'm like, oh, that's what that is, because we do, in our community, we have friends who, this is what I do. I give writing advice, or I talk about the editing process or whatever,
Yeah.
and they build their platform on that. And then there's others of us that, like, look, we're here to make friends and have writing groups and write.
Right. Yeah, that
you know
community of like cheerleading and like,
yeah
oh my God, I'm not in the mood to write at all. Can you please help me? you
yeah
know? Yeah,
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, because I'm like, I always feel like, if I like, that's why, one of the reasons why I don't do a lot of videos, because I'm like, what am I going to do a video about? I just want to write. Like,
Yeah. Can we just write, please?
you
Yes.
want me to make a video of me
Actually,
just
I
writing?
I do need to make a video for the channel because I am switching the type of content I'm gonna share. Because I'm
Ooh.
like, my writing routine is the same thing. My writing
Yep.
process is the same thing no matter what I'm writing. Writing blogs are boring to me because nothing different happens. So if it's boring to me, it's gonna be boring to watch.
Yep.
Now, I do love talking about and experimenting with like different marketing tactics, sales marketing, social media marketing. And I'm like, that I can talk about, especially because I have a couple of different pen names, which
Yeah.
I do different things
Yeah.
marketing wise for them.
Mhm.
So I'm like, that's what I'm gonna talk about.
Yeah.
I'm
I'm like, if
gonna
I
be the
start
one
doing,
who's like, I am still
And
a
it's something
baby
you want to
author,
watch.
so I
yeah.
am gonna bring you from the very beginning.
Yeah.
This
I
is
like
where I
that.
started. I like that, because then you've had this over a year of you actually doing it to show
Yeah,
with different pen names.
exactly.
For me, I'm just like, day in a life of an author, and people my kids are like, Mom, why don't you publish all of this stuff? I'm like, nobody wants to see that. Like, Mom, people literally want to see. I'm like, they want to watch me walk my dog, go to the bookstore,
A lot of people
make bread,
do.
A
and
lot
they're
of
like,
people
yeah,
do.
that's the day in a life, Mom. And I'm like, and
Yeah.
my daughter's like, you have like hours and hours and hours of content. Why are you not posting? And I'm like, nobody wants
Well,
to
it's
see
hard
me.
because you have to put it together and like, yeah. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm kind of
Editing. Yikes.
editing,
I
yeah.
don't
And
like to edit
like
anything. I don't even want to edit my own writing.
that's why I'm kind of shifting gears too a little bit and doing because I was thinking, I'm like, what do I consume? And I
Mm-hmm.
like, am I the bleep hole and stuff? So I'm I'm going to do videos like those, but with writing, because
Mm-hmm.
I'm kind of leaning towards more fun. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like reading my old work. Like I actually filmed this already. I read a short story or whatever that I wrote when in 1983. And so it's so ridiculous, but I like won an award for it.
Oh, nice.
And I'm all like, it's like called the play. It was like a heist, and it was just like, but I was like, this is so fun. And it's like, she's the same age, or my character in Grandma's Little Secret that's
Mm-hmm.
the age I was actually at, like when I
Oh
wrote
wow.
that. So I thought that'd be a
Oh,
fun little
wow.
way to bring in the book and stuff like that. So I'm
Yeah.
just trying to like do stuff that I like consuming. But I love
Yeah.
that, Esther, with the marketing stuff because I would
Mhm.
watch that. And
Yeah, same. 'Cause I'm clueless.
I like that too. Like I would make that kind of content too, in the sense of like, hey, if this
Yeah.
can help, this is what I did type thing.
Yeah. And I'm also someone who's more willing to try things and
Mhm.
be like, well, what more can I lose? If the book is not making money, it's not gonna make any less money.
Yeah,
right.
It's writing something.
Yeah, I tried something different, like a video that I just posted, and it got no views, and I was like, oh well, no one liked that one.
It's funny. I'll do a video or a stream, and it's like 40, maybe max 100 people will view it, and I'll put a Loki short on it. It's like 1,000 people, 10,000. I'm like,
it's like a minute.
Loki, this is your channel. I'm just a writer with a dog. Here's my dog. Because obviously he is what everybody is here for. So I'm like, that's fine.
That's just the way and that's the thing, is like, as long as you're not like for me, as long as I'm not like I'm not expecting anything. I'm just making stuff that it entertains me, that I'm having fun with. Done. You know what I mean? Like 4 people can watch it, you know, and probably 4 people that I know, you know what I mean? So it's I'd be like, hi, you know, when you think about that in real life, you're like, if 4 people in your house watching something you made, that's actually a lot.
That is good. Like, can you even get?
Yeah, usually back when the internet wasn't a thing, that's usually the amount of people who will sit in front of the TV and watch whatever you recorded in the cassette.
Your friends and your family. Look at this thing I did.
We just got in our heads that views, like, oh, I only got 100 views. You're like, that's 100 people.
Exactly.
But try to fit 100 people in your house.
No.
It's like it was just a little skewed. So I'm just trying to get out of that sort of negative mindset and just having fun and like, you know, just trying to revive my channel, because I really do enjoy, you know, making stuff. So
my kids are like, Mom, just make your channel the life of a writer with a pet, and that's who you are.
That's it.
Because that's what I have fun. I have fun if I draw something. I'm like, does anybody actually want to look at me do this? And my kids like, post it. My kids like, just post it, Mom. Post it.
Yeah,
my daughter went through my phone. She was like, I was like, what are you doing? She's like, Mom, post this video. I'm like, don't. She's like, you have so much stuff. It just sits on your phone. She's like, post your stuff. So if my channel ends up in the new year just looking really random, one week I'm baking bread, the next week I'm drawing, the next week I'm in my garden. I'm just a writer with a pet trying to figure things out.
And also, those are videos that when they are on YouTube, you can embed or link in your newsletter.
Yeah, absolutely.
You constantly are talking that you never know what to put in your newsletter. You have a ton of things to.
You're sounding like my kids, Esther. Stop.
Well, it's true.
It is true.
But I do get it. The hard part, at least for me, is the editing. And so it's like, sure, I can film a bunch of footage, but putting it all together and editing it in a video can sometimes be overwhelming and something I don't want to do because I could be writing. And so I get that. Like,
I remember I spent one stream trying to organize my videos into separate files just so that I could have them organized. Here's the garden, here's the baking, here's the house stuff, here's me going to the bookstore, my trip to California, which I still haven't posted anything about. It's supposed to be in my year-end wrap-up, and I got to meet Becca and Laura. So I was just doing that. I was like, I have spent this entire stream trying to organize all of these
hours
videos.
Just organizing footage.
And I'm like, and everybody else is like, got this word count, got that word count. I'm like, I'm struggling through sorting videos. Not fun. I want to be doing the writing. And Brandon said in the video, he's like, if no one else was going to like see your writing, would you still write it? And I'm like, absolutely, because I did that for years, never thinking anyone was going to see anything that I wrote. And so I would totally do it.
It's not about like that. Like I never understood that with like, you know, like writer friends that I've had over the years, you know, because they will just be like, well, that didn't work, and they just stop writing. And I'm all like,
what?
It's my blood. Like I could never stop writing. I mean, maybe I'll never.
I might stop trying to publish, but I'm never going to stop writing.
I'll never stop writing. Yes, and that's the other thing too, which he did not mention, even though I'm sure he would if he would have like thought of it or whatever, or just, you know, is he was saying like, if you write stories and you only show it to your friends or whatever, you have to be okay with that. But with indie publishing and self-publishing, you would never have to be in that position. You could always publish. You know what I mean? Like, I think if you gave up on traditional publishing, that is the truth, and if you come to accept that, if that's your only goal is to be traditionally published and you just think that's never going to happen and you can be okay with just giving it to friends, I get that. But like, you can publish like that you can be like, okay, well, you know what then? I don't like it when people have that mentality of like, well, I couldn't get traditionally published, so I'm going to self-publish. Like, I don't like that. But at the same time, you know what? Do what life is short, man. If you want to publish a book.
Also the thing that it was not like touched, like even original fiction is not the only thing that you can write. There's plenty of people who are still writing fan fiction. They're very happy writing fan fiction. And some of them do share it online and some of them don't. I have friends who've been writing fan fiction for years and they write them on notebooks. They just have piles of 20, 25, 30 notebooks, all of them. There's just fan fiction. And they just write it for themselves.
Yeah.
Back in the early 2000s, I wrote my fan fiction in The Sims. I'd play The Sims, take the little screenshots or the little quick videos,
and write
a little story.
I love that.
It was so fun. I miss The
Sims. Yeah. I did like that he emphasized the newsletter. Really, because I have seen the difference. Again, I am almost inclined to say that Sally is now a guinea pig of some sorts. Because I have tried a lot of different types of like social media marketing with her, and kind of like got a little bit burnt out doing a lot of social media. I was seeing the numbers, but then when I started focusing on newsletter and growing newsletter with sample chapters, I still don't have an entire book for free. It's still just samples. The same amount of sample that you can see on Amazon. The same amount.
Interesting.
And I've been growing my newsletter and my numbers are more stable than before.
Yeah. How many newsletter subscribers do you have?
I had to switch from MailerLite to Kit because I was getting stupidly close to 500. And
you have 2 weeks left to do to get locked in on Flowdesk. Flowdesk, they're gonna
discount
or a week. Well, it's that basically. I was going to try to open it, but my internet is so slow. I cannot. I'm on my phone. No, I locked it in because remember how we were talking about how with the because I was with MailerLite, and so I hit the 500 mark, and I was like, well, crap, I'm going to have to pay for it, and I didn't want to, but then I was all like, okay, if I'm going to be paying anyway, I would rather pay for a place that you pay like the whatever it is, $35 a month, but unlimited subscribers. But Flowdesk is all like, we've been doing that too long and we need to make money. So we're going to everybody else's system now, like MailerLite and MailChimp. And we're going to have to charge you at 500. But we're going to give people a couple, like they started this a couple months ago. We're going to give people a couple months to get locked in for life. If you want the $35 a month for unlimited. I did it. I just went for it because I was just like, you know what? I'm really focusing on my newsletter. I'm going to keep doing my newsletter. I think it's really important. And I don't want to get freaked out when I get subscribers.
Yeah. And then have to worry about, oh no,
and be like, oh no, I'm getting subscribers.
Yeah. And the thing is, like, I made the switch very quickly because I think not even a month in, I was already way too close to 500.
Nice.
That's the thing.
Like,
so
when
I
I'm telling
it.
you, my newsletter grew like stupidly fast
Yeah.
with just sample chapters.
Yeah. But that's what I'm saying is I hit the 500 and I was all like, I don't want to pay MailerLite because then you're paying and paying and paying and it gets bigger and bigger. And the more you get, the more you're paying. And like, I looked at like what it would be for like 10,000 subscribers, you know, like a good goal, like to match, you'd be paying like 150 a month. And I'm like, I don't like, if I want to get 10,000 subscribers, I would rather do it with like a company that I know for sure it's always going to be 35. That's it, no matter what. And I could get 1 million subscribers, ha ha ha. But like, you know, it would still be because if you do like I was just for giggles, I was saying like how much would it be if you had like 500,000 subscribers, and it was like literally like $400 a month, and I'm all like, oh my God, I would, and that should be a celebration.
Yeah, not a stressor.
Yeah, and the thing with
subscribers don't always equal that in dollars.
Well,
so what if you get 1 million subscribers, but you're only pulling in $200?
But that's what I'm saying. Exactly. Because writers, we don't have a product every newsletter that we're selling. And so I get why they charge that much, because most newsletters are like, you know,
a lot for companies and stuff.
Yes.
If you're a big company,
they can make that money easy on one newsletter. But writers, I mean, we have like a book a year if we're lucky. And then it's like, we can't sell that every single newsletter.
Right.
Yeah. So anyway, I think there's about a week and a half left. If you did want to switch and just be with a locked in company where you wouldn't have to worry about it, Flowdesk is still open. You know, if you want to go.
Yeah. So the date is November the 28th, Black Friday.
Okay.
Last name.
About a week and a half. Okay.
Yeah. So
yeah, I mean, I've been telling everybody about it.
I also need to check if it's because I know it's unlimited, but I want to see how many kind of like author accounts. Because I next year I'm ready to start other pen names, and I'm like, I know newsletters are ridiculous important, so I am gonna get them right from the beginning.
Oh, you mean like can you have multiple accounts or whatever? Oh yeah, I don't know, because I just do my one. Yeah, it's good to look up. Let me know. Yeah, let me know, because if I ever do start something else, it'd be nice to know to have. Yeah. But yeah.
All right, we got to wrap it up. What are our final thoughts on the series? Worth watching? What do we think? And Becca, especially it's your first time.
Oh my God, I know. I feel like I was so hard on him sometimes when he would talk about certain movies and but I loved it. I thought it was fantastic. I learned a lot, and it really got me inspired. So I'm so glad we did this, and thank you for letting me be a part of it.
Oh, I'm so glad you were. What are your thoughts, Esther?
I really like it. I think he add things that his previous lesson didn't have or didn't spend too much time in it. Besides that, I think honestly, going to the old ones for fun, for chits and giggles, it's fun to just watch. But if you want something a little bit more quote unquote accurate, because also it's Brandon Sanderson, there's a lot of things that are going to be very skewed because of who he is. But if you want something as accurate as possible, this is going to be the best investment in your time. Especially if you are writing stories, whether they are fantasy, science fiction, or contemporary, but if they do require a lot of like building blocks for both the setting and the story and the characters, this is a great watch. Absolutely recommend.
Yeah, I totally agree. I'm glad I actually sat down. I'm like, oh my gosh, I have notes. I have tabs.
I know.
For the first time. There are things that when you listen to it as a podcast as you're cleaning or gardening or whatever that you completely miss. So I was so glad to be able to like, oh, I remember I mentioned that's what the and just having everything click. I'm one of those people that if I hear it and then I write it down, I
Mhm.
don't forget it. Where sometimes if I hear
Yeah.
something, I'll remember it for a little while, but then it's gone.
Mm-hmm.
So it
Yep.
was nice to actually sit down and write it and take notes like it was a class. So thank you guys for joining me
Yeah.
to do this.
Oh my
This
gosh.
was a
Thank you
lot
for
of fun.
thinking about this.
Yeah.
Yes. And thank you guys. If you're watching on the replay and you have any comments, go ahead and leave them down in the description. And you can follow us on YouTube. We're going to let you guys know whereabouts you can find us before we sign off. You want to start us off, Esther?
Yeah. My channel is my name. It's if you can type it accurately, you're gonna find me very easily because it's not a very common name apparently. And I should be back on a screen on my channel on Friday. I think it's 6 p.m. Eastern. I do productivity writing sprints, and I will be back again on Sunday at 3 p.m. for the last monthly planning stream of
Woo.
the year. Because the one in December is for like next year.
Wow.
This
Ah,
is insane, but you
So
know,
insane. Oh my
let's
god.
not think too much
It gives
about
me like a
it.
little flutter of panic. Well, I
I
don't
know.
know why. I was
Same.
like, why'd you
Same.
say that?
I I
Oh,
wrote a one of this in this car because I was like plan this week. You haven't planned your weeks. You're like going off rails, and then one of the notes is like think about December for the live on Sunday the 23rd. And I'm like, no, I don't wanna.
oh, oh.
Oh my gosh.
But yeah. So that's where you will see me this week. I don't know if I'll be on my friends. It depends on my energy levels this week.
Yep.
Yes.
And Becca, where are you going to be? Where can folks
Um,
find you?
tomorrow I'm going to be on Steeg's channel in the morning, and then in the evening I'm going to be on Nia's channel. So it is going to be a stream heavy day tomorrow, which
All
I'm very
right.
excited about because I think I really need it. Just to organize, like I have a lot of different things that I need to be doing. And sometimes I don't know, just doing streams is like, okay, in the first sprint I can do this, and the second sprint I can do this. And then to have two of them, I think it's just going to be perfect. So I'm excited.
All right.
Nice.
And so, yeah, you'll find me here on YouTube and on Twitch. We're all linked below. So if you want to check out our social medias, you can do that. And again, if you want to come hang out with us for some sprints, uh, we'll be doing that. So you can come and meet us, say hi. We love meeting writer friends. Thank you guys so much. This has been a lot of fun. Thank you, Brandon Sanderson, for
Yes.
hosting your classes so everyone can take it.
Yes.
It is much, much appreciated. We really enjoyed it. So thank you guys, and we'll see you later. Bye.
Bye.